We thank you, Allah, for the food you give, for the health we have. We raise our hands to thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with Muhammad, Nabi Allah. The stars that sparkle, the moon at night, Allah. The sun that shines, the day so bright, Allah. The trees that bow, the birds that sing. Thank you, Allah, for the gifts you bring. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with Muhammad, Rasulullah. Thank you, Ya Allah. 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 Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with life, blessing us with Islam, blessing us with Iman. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us with Muhammad, Rasulullah. Muhammad, Habib Allah. Muhammad, Nabi Allah. Muhammad, Rasulullah.
Oh no, not again! Tax penalties, accounting, VAT and payroll issues. Don't worry, Leicester Commercial Accountants will get you up to speed with all your tax, accounting, VAT and payroll. We offer the full range of accounting services at competitive prices. Contact Osman Sakrani at Leicester Commercial Accountants on 07715 105 356 or visit our office on Francis Street, Leicester. You have nothing to lose.
www.ramadan.fm
هبي أنصار الهدى عبي ركب الفداء واطلبي ثأر الشهيد واطلبي ثأر الشهيد لمتى سنظل رقودا نغرق في النوم ونشخر وعن الآذان نصم ونغمض كي لا نبصر دقت أجراس الخطر والحالة جاءت تنذر لمتى نتقاعس قولوا من يمنع زحف المنكر مات الإحساس فصرنا من غير فؤاد يذكر نبصر إخوانا غرقا فنمر كمن لا يبصر فلنأمر بالمعروف ولننهى عن فعل الشر ولنتركها أعذارا دجلا خلقت كي نعذر لا أملك فكر الكلمة كلمات تقلع بالدين مغرر، أو شخصية تأثير ما عندي فلتتقهقر. ما تذكر ليس بعذر يقبل في يوم المحشر. لم لا تتثقف، لم لا تترك ما منه تصغر، تترك ما منه تصغر. هبي أنصار الهدى، عبي ركب الفداء، مطلوبي ثأر الشهيد، مطلوبي ثأر الشهيد. فتيات اليوم كفاكي تركاضا خلف سرابي، عودي نحو الإسلام لا تستمعي لذئابي. فالشرق دمار فيه والغرب عدو كتابي، همهم طمس الدين وكذا لفظا لترابي. قتلوا الإنسانية في أعماقهم بحرابي، هجروا الأخلاق فصاروا حيوانات في غابي، حيوانات في غابي. يا من تعمل للدنيا لن ينفعك فما تعمل، أرضاك غدا تصلاه نارا فيها.
You are listening to Ramadan special broadcast on EAVA FM 102.5 FM, www.ramadan.fm. Email us at studio@ramadan.fm.
The House of Lords says a serious review of HS2 is needed. The Economic Affairs Committee says funding of a northern train line should be brought forward instead. HS2 will connect London with northern cities when it opens. Meanwhile, new trains have been launched on the East Coast Rail Line today. Bosses say it's going to improve passenger experience. LNER Managing Director David Horn told us how the trains will be rolled out.
Hitachi are building 65 new trains for us, so that takes about a year to deliver. We're rolling the trains out into service at around one a week, so it will take around 12 months to bring them all into service.
Thomas Cook says it's struggled to get through the winter. It says less and less people are booking holidays with them because of Brexit. They've had to spend more on advertising and cutting prices. And Donald Trump has declared a national emergency over computer security. His executive order bans US companies from using foreign telecom services that could be a threat. It's believed to be targeting Huawei. That's the latest from Radio News Hub. I'm Liam Arrowsmith.
Have you ever lost money on an investment? If a high street bank persuaded you to buy a stocks and shares ISA, unit trust or investment bond and you lost money, you could be entitled to thousands of pounds in compensation. It doesn't matter if you no longer have the investment or can't find the paperwork. You could still be owed thousands. Text LOST to 60777 and Goodwin Barrett will start a free assessment to find out how much you could be owed. Text LOST to 60777 and Goodwin Barrett will call you back.
The Centre for Policy Studies has called for a small reform to business taxation, which would see companies with revenue below £1 million given the option of replacing the four main taxes with levy on turnover. The comments come ahead of the launch of the report Think Small, which focuses on the future of small businesses. The Office for Students has announced a new £5.6 million fund to boost opportunities for graduates who want to look for employment opportunities near to their hometowns. The projects, based in universities and colleges across England, will aim to provide work experience, internships and training to new graduates. There are claims the Chinese manufacturer Huawei is to launch its new 5G-ready handset, but the company has not confirmed that it will be available from today. And the National Audit Office says the BBC is now well ahead of other organisations on pay transparency and the gender pay gap. It's after the corporation was praised for taking steps to improve the consistency and transparency of its pay practices.
I'm John Francis. Derby produced a stunning comeback to reach the Championship playoff final. They trailed 1-0 on the night and 2-0 on aggregate at Leeds before scoring 4 goals to win 4-2 and 4-3 on aggregate. The Rams will now take on Aston Villa at Wembley in football's richest game. Kick It Out has apologised after comments made about former Brighton boss Chris Hughton. It said sorry to the club following his sacking, after it was inferred his dismissal was because of the colour of his skin. Stoke striker Saido Berahino has been found guilty of drink driving. He was found to be 3 times over the limit when his Range Rover was stopped in London in February. England one-day captain Owen Morgan will sit out the fourth one-dayer against Pakistan. He's been fined and suspended after the home side played with a slow over rate at Bristol. England lead 2-0 in the series with 2 matches to play. Two-time champion Maria Sharapova has had to withdraw from the French Open. She has a shoulder problem. And Fernando Alonso escaped unhurt after a crash in practice ahead of the Indy 500. The former F1 world champion is taking part in the race for the second time.
Nice and sunny again today, although cloudier than it has been. It could get a little cooler later on as well. Temperatures at a high of 19 degrees Celsius. The House of Lords says a serious review.
It's refreshing!
So lit!
It's delicious and fruity!
It's scrummylicious! It's yummy! Love it!
It's refreshing proper!
It's too good, y'all.
But delicious!
Brew coffee and gelato for the best iced refreshers and shakes in town. Open till late every day.
Disclaimer: may create feelings of joy and happiness. Sugar is guaranteed. Teas and please do not apply.
Reaching over 500,000 people across the globe since 2013, LIA Relief Trust respond to emergencies wherever they are taking place. We have carried out vital work in Bangladesh for the Rohingyas, Sudan, Tanzania, Kenya, India, Indonesia, Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon and Yemen. Millions need help and we are there, reaching those who need us most. Please join us on our Pledge Day held on Sunday the 12th of May and help us change lives. With your help, we can help. LIA Relief Trust. Work local, think global.
Regal Food Products. Ziz biscuits, मजेदार fruit cakes, fairy cakes, almond cakes.
Regal Bombay mix के चटखारे, खस्ता और करारे.
और अब Regal आपके लिए लाए प्योर फ्रूट जूसेस की वसी वैरायटी।
पीजिए और वतन याद कीजिए। आज ही अपने करीबी दुकानदार से तलब फरमाइए और Regal के गुण गाइए।
Regal Food Products, Regal House, Valley Street, BD8 9RR, Phone Bradford 493-200.
जहां लज़्ज़त
वहाँ Regal.
Rahma Mercy is a UK-registered charity with over 20 years of experience in providing aid and relief in the Balkans. With the help of our donors, Rahma Mercy has been providing support through various projects ranging from orphan sponsorship, food aid, education and Islamic literature. Support us this Ramadan by tuning in on EAVA 102.5 FM on Sunday the 26th of May. Donate by calling 0116 251 6959.
Ramadan Mubarak from Flywheel Travel, Leicester's leading Hajj, Umrah and Muslim holiday packages, including Masjid Al-Aqsa, Turkey and more. 5-star 18 days Hajj package, including flight from only £5,950. Flywheel Travel, 396 East Park Road, LE5 5HH. Call 0116 273 9666. That's 0116 273 9666. Or visit www.flywheeltravel.co.uk.
Business startup, planning, bookkeeping and accounting, VAT payroll, self-assessment, auditing, corporate, offshore and personal tax planning. Watergates, chartered certified accountants and registered auditors. 109 Coleman Road, Leicester, LE5 4LE. Phone 0116 246 4152. Visit us on www.watergates.co.uk. Ramadan Mubarak from all at Watergates and a happy Eid.
Ramadan Kareem from Antalya Restaurant. Authentic Turkish cuisine. Grilled to perfection. Mouth-watering barbecue platters, kebabs, burgers and mezes. HMC approved. Open 7 days a week from 12 till 10:30 p.m. Delivery service within 5 miles. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Ramadan offer. 10% discount on collection only. EAVA. 3 to 5 Narborough Road, LE3 0LE. Telephone 0116 255 5538. www.antalyarestaurant.co.uk.
Salam Properties, calling all landlords. Do you need your property securely tenanted and reliably managed? For a caring, personal and professional service, look no further. Qualified with over 20 years experience in the housing sector, we provide an honest, friendly, reliable and hassle-free service at a competitive rate. Call us now on 07 492 294 735 or email contact@sal.am.org.uk. Salam Properties. Be in safe hands.
Join us here on EAVA FM this Sunday the 19th of May at 1:30 p.m. for the Human Appeal Pledge Day. human appeal. Let's be one this Ramadan.
Al Murad, proudly supporting the nation since 1985 with over 80 stores nationwide. We specialize in ceramic tiles, porcelain and natural stones from all over the world. And with over 10 million tiles in our warehouse, we are sure to stock the right tiles for you. So don't forget to visit us at Al Murad, 168 Belgrave Gate, LE1 3XL. Telephone 0116 262 429.
You are listening to Ramadan special broadcast on EAVA FM 102.5 FM, www.ramadan.fm. Email us at studio@ramadan.fm.
أتعشقها أم رثيت لحالي فجئت تشاركني في السهام.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. This is ZED on the Drive Time Breakfast Show on Ramadan Special EAVA 102.5 FM. Brothers and sisters, how are you this morning? What a wonderful day. Time to get those sunglasses back on because the sun glares in your eyes here in the studio. You know, where I'm sat here on my chair, the sun goes right straight into my eyes. That is why I wear these glasses, you know. Now, you be at home somewhere, or you're driving, or you're at work, wherever you are. If you got a voucher for my wonderful, beautiful brothers and sisters out there who connect with me first thing in the morning, my producer is nodding the other way. The other way means that he has not got a voucher as yet. Somebody sent a message in saying that, Assalamu alaikum, good morning to you, Brother Zed, and good morning to all the sisters, all the listeners, not all the sisters. What a beautiful day again. We are blessed with so much. I am mad. That is what I like to hear. I believe we all should do one thing a day that does make a difference. As you said yesterday, even if you make a difference to one person is enough for that one person. It might be everything they need that time. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to tell you now what made a difference to me yesterday. Is a good deed will never be wasted. Let's be mad together. From RH. That is an initial. I'm going to let you work out who's RH. Well, let me tell you something, guys. Yesterday, what made me happy yesterday, and I want you to tell me what made you happy yesterday. I came in the evening to the studio and I was told that, oh right, a lady came in and she's paid up for these 5 Qurans, the majestic Quran that I've been talking to you about. Remember that? The majestic Quran. So people are purchasing the majestic Quran. So we have a target here at the studio to sell 100 copies of that wonderful majestic Quran that we all want to purchase. And I would like somebody to give me a feedback on what they thought about the translation and how easily it was understood, because that was the whole intention about the majestic Quran, that it was very easy to understand. Well, now another special dua for my brother Abdul Hamid. If you are listening in right where you are this minute, I want to give you a big hug for my brother Abdul Hamid. You can see, and also a very big hug for my producer Akil. Now, that is against the health regulations, because if you have a hug from brother Abdul Hamid, and if you're in hospital, that might not be allowed, because when even brother Akil will shake your hand, he will squash it. And if he'll give you a hug, he will squash your body. In fact, I tell people, look, it's very easy. If you want to lose weight, you come and give a hug to Akil. You're going to automatically lose weight, right? He's going to absolutely give you one of those power hugs. Right, so we have got a message here. I'm waiting for him to eat the TCR biryani together, right? So we're waiting for Abdul Hamid to dig into that TCR biryani, which is like the Friday. Of course, you know, Juma is at the City Retreat. Wonderful organization in Leicester, along with the Peace Centre. So all of you wonderful organizations in Leicester, connect with me today. Today we're going to make it a very special day. Today is a day when I want all of you out there in the wonderful streets of Leicester, Evington Road, a tidy Evington Road. So let us see if there's a road tidier than Evington Road in Leicester. Let's go and check. We'll do the East Park Road, we'll do the Hartington Road, we'll do the Melbourne Road, and we'll do Melton Road, and let us see who is tidy out of all of these roads. So if you compete with each other in doing good, brothers and sisters, that's what we have to do in our month of Ramadan, is compete with each other to do good deeds. And of course, you know, if you do all of that, you will always be an asset. So what else made me happy yesterday? I'm going to tell you what made me happy. Now, Naeem Briscoe, I want you to call me and tell me what made you happy and what made you sad. Because you know that I was very upset about the litter, and now I'm happy because some effect has taken place. So, Brother Naeem, and in fact, a good idea that just reading your name has tempted me to come up with this idea that anybody today can walk into my studio, our studio, Ramadan EAVA 102.5 FM you're listening to right now. I want you to walk in and let us discuss what we are going to do together for betterment in the community. Now, you know, we have a big push on health and awareness. So all of you listening out there, if you have some good ideas to contribute, you may have an idea for recruitment, you may have an idea for career development, you may have an idea for empowerment, you may have an idea for doing another mad initiative, as we call it, a Make a Difference initiative, right? Using your KIP, knowledge is power, that you have now. Now, all of us, we have to be in continuous development. I myself have seen all of you develop right in front of my eyes throughout the periods that I've known you. So some of you have done better. That is what we call CPD. Like we have to do CPD in our deen, continuous professional development in our deen, we have to do also in our daily lives, in our family lives, in our professional lives as well. Be it you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're an optician, you're a solicitor, whatever profession you're in, you got to be in continuous development. And of course, when you've gone up the ladder, then it becomes your duty to teach people below you so you can empower them as well. That is what empowerment is all about, is taking people under your wing and giving them a good heads up, a good start. Some of us, we went to school, we went to nursery, primary, secondary, university, and we could have done with a good mentor, somebody who gave us some good life skills and advanced our careers forward and advanced our characters forward. Because in the end, guys, brothers, sisters, you are what you eat and you are who you hang with. That's very important. Of course, there are other programs that deal with all these specific subjects. The brothers who were on last night on the late night program were talking about positive attributes and what we have to do, you know, and wonderful, absolutely wonderful to be listening to young, aspiring gentlemen that we had on yesterday. Salam, what's the message here? How is the get well card for Abdul Hamid going? Well, I'm telling you, because people were half asleep, it's not going anywhere at all. It's going to be one of those initiatives where I'm going to go get that card done myself if none of you wake up to this challenge. So again, thank you for reminding me. Here we are. What we're saying is that for Brother Abdul Hamid, we need to design a wonderful card from the city of Leicester. So who's going to take this initiative on? Who's going to take the lead on it? Every project that we do requires leadership. Now, I'm going to nominate my good friend who has sent that message by text to take that initiative on, and let us see if we can deliver that initiative. So what we do, we get a big card, not so big, also medium-sized, about this wide and that long. So here, I'll get my tape measure out, because, you know, here, people don't believe me when I talk about measurements, right? But here you are. Look, we're going to make it about 300 wide. There you are. 300 wide is going to be, if you're watching here right now on the Facebook, 300 long. Maybe we keep it that long, yeah. 300 millimeters long. So those of you who don't deal in millimeters, that is 30 centimeters, right? So, and we keep it about 200 wide. Is that a good size? Or if you have a recommendation, let's do it then. Now, you see, this is what I like to do. I like participants. Somebody has offered to take the lead due to GDPR regulations. I'm not allowed to say their name on air, provided I get a specific 4-page document signed off to say that you are able to say my name, but not my telephone number. A document, right, that you can pull off Google, not Zoogle, Google, and that document is what, once signed off, is gone through our producers. He's cast his eye over it, then I will do it. Yeah, somebody sent me a message saying that, Zed, you look a little bit tired this morning. Did you not go through your makeup routine? Yes, of course, as I was telling you yesterday, you go up the stairs, there's a room to the left, there's 6 chairs there. I go in there and I just wish there was somebody up there who's going to dress, get me ready, do my hair, do my blemishes, hide all my spots and all of that kind of thing that you see at big studios. Of course, that is all wishful thinking. Now, we have set a room aside just for that purpose, for those who want to get ready before they come into the studio. But so far, we haven't had much usage of it because everybody's like me. They rush up to the studio with about 10 seconds left to go before they're going to go on air, and then they jump on the chair and then they do the fiddling with the mic. Is it too high? Is it too low? And we've sort of left a tape measure for them so they can measure as to what the distance is that they are away from the mic. So if those of you who are watching me on the Facebook, you will have a little crash course on the world of presenting on radio, whereby your distance from the mic has to be as you see me on the Facebook. So that's how it is. So Brother Naim, give us a call and let's see what we're going to do to make a difference. And also today, we've put out a call to all of those you wonderful people out there to come into the studio and join with us and tell us what you're going to do or what you're going to propose or what you can offer in advice. When you make a difference, even if you offer somebody some good advice and you offer them some good direction, you will have done a good deed for the day, right? That is what it's all about. So come on, guys, let's do this together. Don't leave it all to my producer to do. He can't do everything. He's got limited time on his hands and he's got his wife on his case all of the time. Yesterday, he didn't make it home for iftar and there was trouble. There was big trouble. The wife got involved, then his mother got involved, then before you know it, the whole extended family got involved and they said, right, we want you home tomorrow. So this is why today we're not going to see him for iftar. And of course, we like to keep you all informed about everything that goes on here at radio. You must not miss out on everything that goes on. So what happens, the evening crew, we at the radio have to arrange an iftar for them. So downstairs, they have an iftar, then they do their maghrib here, because you can't just let them out of the studio to run home at 80 miles per hour, which is an illegal speed limit, to make it home for iftar. They can't do that because it's quite far for them to do that. So what they do is they sit down here and collectively, about 7 or 8 brothers, they sit, and sisters, they have a little iftar together and they share ideas. So sharing is caring. So brothers, start sharing and start forwarding to all your database out there, and let's get connected with them. So those of you brothers and sisters, I'm going to see who is going to take up this challenge to come into the studio today to discuss with us. As you know that this week, there's 2 subjects we are covering this week: health and awareness, mental, which is also including mental awareness, because this week is Mental Awareness Week. And also we are discussing here on the radio throughout the month, best practice for recruitment and career development. So yesterday, brothers and sisters, if you were listening in the morning, I had two wonderful guests, and they came from Watergates, Tanveer and his colleague Uzair. They were absolutely brilliant. It's what I like to see. I tell my producer, when I see youngsters like that in the age gap of 20 to 25 and they're so aspiring, you know what? I cannot remember me or you or many people I know in my database being that confident at the age of 20. These guys were really top of their game. And these are the guys who are going to shape and form this community tomorrow. So what we have to do is support them, encourage them, and provide platforms for them so that they are the ones who are going to be the movers and shakers of a better community tomorrow. So definitely both of these brothers are on my database that at the radio here we are conducting a database of 100 young males and 100 young females at least. So we set a target for us, as well as the 100 Qurans that we want to sell during this month of Ramadan. We want to also have a database of 100 and 100. And what we do, we're going to make this list, add their names on, and then what we are going to do is put them in different sections of profession, and we're going to work with them, do some serious CPD. Here, we have a message here. An A3 card, perhaps for all the listeners who would like to sign the card, could come with a set date before giving to Abdul Hamid. May he have a speedy recovery in this blessed month of Ramadan. Abdul Hamid, I want to know if you are listening in. If you're not listening in, then I want to make a little recording for Abdul Hamid that we have got your back. We're here at the studio. Now, all of you who want to give a greeting to Abdul Hamid, do so through me, and I'm going to pass it on to him. So, Abdul Hamid, this little section of the program today is going to be put on a WhatsApp, and I'm going to get it dispatched to your bedside. So you're going to look at it, and your brother here, who is rooting for you, who is giving you a big shout out and a big hug, and making du'as for your betterment, right? Inshallah, when we make du'as, we make a difference. So somebody sent me a text saying that, what about the dua for the day? Well, of course, we want everybody to take part and get over to us your dua for the day, right? Because if you don't do that, then I can't read them out. So if anyone's got a dua, then let us know. Well, you know what? This is what I like about the listeners out there. They respond immediately. So this is what I would like to read here. Ramadan is the best chance to ask Allah for forgiveness, thank Him for His blessings and for keeping us alive till this moment. That is a good dua. Of course, this is very important, brothers and sisters. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for keeping you awake, alive for one more day to go and do some good. This is very, very important. This is how I start my day. I wake up and the first thing I want to do is thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me one more day to go out there and do some good in this dunya, right? So keep those messages coming for Abdul Hamid. We need to absolutely keep on top of this matter and not to forget to make du'as for him, for his betterment. And also, I want you all to make dua for a little brother, 5 months old. His name is Harun. Make dua. He's only 5 months old and he's on his second operation already. Various complications from when he was born. Brother Harun, his father connected with me yesterday and went through the whole procedure with me, and I was quite astonished the way he was showing it to me on his phone in 3D motion and explaining to me, because it was a very complex operation which you would not understand if somebody was to tell you, but this is where the technology is. And this is also a big thanks to the NHS who have taken care. If you were in another country in Asia or in Africa, at a 5-month-old child with complications from birth would have just been sent home to say that if it's Allah's will, he lives, if it's Allah's will, he'll die. And here they taken this on and they absolutely spend a lot of time and passion to make this child come through this difficult period. So 5 months old. Imagine, brothers and sisters, this is very, very sad. So you'll all have come across stories every day. Share them with us. Let people know. Let's create awareness like we did about the issues here out on Evington Road. How we can make a difference is create awareness, and let's work together to make that difference. So I'm going to once again invite brothers and sisters to come and join me in the studio today and to talk to me about how they can make a difference with their ideas, with their good initiatives. And then in the next session, we can look forward to meeting somebody. As they say, as you walk through the door, something good happens here at Radio Ramadan. So my producer is nodding, he's laughing, and he's smiling. But sometimes I don't know whether that is a smile of happiness or one of those smiles of anger. I don't know. So you're listening to ZED on the Ramadan special 102.5 FM. Who can say that jingle better than me? Is there anybody out there who can say that jingle as good as me? Ramadan special, EAVA FM 102.5 FM. So I've said the word FM twice for those of you who can't say it. So I've had to say it twice, right? So guys, I want you to come on board. Join me this morning. Today is the day we're going to make it happen. So I'm going to look forward to come back to you after this break, a short break, and then we're going to continue with the program for the next section. Jazakallah khair. Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, we are back for session 2 of Ramadan special on EVA 102.5 FM. So it's good to hear from you today. So today, look, an unbelievably beautiful, wonderful day. So brothers, if this day, this sunshine out there does not cheer you up, then I don't know what is going to cheer you up, brothers and sisters. So today, I'm going to introduce you to my first guest. We call them Walked Off Beat on Evington Road, or the road in this case. Wonderful initiative there. You know, if you don't ask, you don't get. When I was telling you all that, walk in, talk to us about what mad initiatives that you have and how you're going to make a difference to our community development initiatives here. This is not just a radio program or a radio show. This is some serious community development, empowering the human race here. That's what we're taking on, bro. My good friend here, he's joined me. He was listening in his car, and I'm going to ask him what tempted him to come here and join me this morning. So first of all, I shall give him a good Assalamu alaikum greeting. My brother, how are you?
Walaikum salam, very good.
In my whole life, this is the third time that I am meeting you, right?
That's right, yeah.
You see, with me, every time I meet anybody I know, I count. The counter is on. In my head is one of those Pentium, very fast, high-speed processor inside there. It's old. Pentium is old, but we still call it Pentium, right? Yeah. So I know you're from the world of high-powered computers, right? So
that's right, yeah.
What should I have said there instead of a Pentium?
You should have probably said Intel Xeon processor.
I better write that down. Intel Xeon processor.
The Xeon.
Xeon.
That's the kind of servers we use in the high-powered data centers, which are probably powering things like Facebook and Google.
I'm getting hot at this now. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a challenge, I think. Today, we're going to have some fun. So, my brother, I would like you to introduce your good self to the beautiful people of Leicester.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, Leicester. So my name is Rizwan Ali, and the kind of main reason why I kind of walked in today was I got asked in this month of Ramadan by 3 brothers about how to kind of kickstart their career in IT, which brings to who I am and what I do. So I'm from background, I'm a software engineer, but I work as a data architect for major blue chip clients across the EMEA region, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And that's a quick intro about me. And so I thought we could probably make a difference, help some of these brothers who are either undergoing a degree in university at the minute, or they've already had a degree, and they're kind of struggling to enter the marketplace, to kind of give them a heads up of what's coming up next in the IT sector, and on how they can kind of break that glass ceiling, if you like, to enter.
Of course, we need to now remind ourselves that we have many brothers and sisters right now in the field of IT. It's a growing sector. Data is the future. Everybody is having data issues right now. You know, data comes in so many different forms. Data at your work is how we process that data and what we do with that data, isn't it?
That's right.
If you can sort of, in layman terms, explain to all the listeners out there, right, what is the relevance of data today?
Yeah, definitely. So if you kind of go back, 50 years, even 100 years, most companies used to have an ethos that employees are a company's biggest asset. And in this day and age, in most companies, there is no kind of employee loyalty. People come and go. So there are so many touch points that happen in terms of data that actually in most companies now, data is the biggest asset of any company. They can mine that to increase their customer base. They can understand customer behavior, customer trends, the new products emerging, and even from marketing's point of view, which kind of really starts with creating a product, all kind of starts from data. So data in a way is what shapes us, what kind of shapes the markets, and also businesses in terms of what should be doing next. From I guess Leicester is a big business community, so we kind of see that with big businesses, and I definitely see it with a lot of small businesses. A lot of the businesses are run by gut feel. They don't really know, what's the actual items that they're making profit on. It's like 10 years ago when they started it. They had certain items which were, maybe their key profit leaders. But over the time, they're just kind of holding on to all those stocks, those product lines. You see that with a lot of restaurant businesses that have such a massive menu list. And if you ask them what are your top 5 sellers, they'll just give you an answer from gut rather than the data. So data is what's really driving the technology. So if you look at what I call Uberification of businesses, that's really been driven by data. And a lot of these companies are basically collecting customer behavior data and customer transactional data, and a lot of the products in the coming time, which is going to be quite disruptive, will be set up from these data silos that they've got, and they'll be connected together, and then more insights will be developed, and then new products will emerge from there.
Of course, it is quite a very complex field of work, right? And this is where the future is going, where robotics, all these things you've talked about, they're going to impact on our workforce, where in the next 10 years, 40% of jobs will not exist that exist today. Right?
That's right, yeah. There was a report, not far back, that said that the jobs of the future will be quite different. And I also sometimes think, especially for Asian parents, because we think we need to make our kids doctors, lawyers, and a lot of the things that are happening in the industry. If you look at, for example, medicine, there are companies out there. There's this, like Babylon and so on, which have basically mined so much data that through an app they're focusing or pinpointing on a specific problem, medical problem, and then they have doctors who are basically working remotely and kind of solving problems. So even NHS is now kind of going down that route. So technology is a major disruptor in this day and age. Again, the similar thing is happening with lawyers. A lot of the paralegal work is now being automated. So there's a lot of disruption coming up. So we need to be aware. So you're absolutely right. The jobs that we have today won't be there in the future. So if you just take a really simple example, like driverless cars or driverless lorries, just imagine how many, there's a massive community which is, made up of lorry drivers, taxi drivers, and so on. And they're doing trial runs in Milton Keynes and Bristol. And once that comes through, you just imagine the number of people that will be made jobless, in effect, from this.
Do you think that the society, the community is ready for that? Are they preparing for it mentally? Do we have the tools?
I don't think so, and I don't see that. And I don't think it's just the community either. I think even at the government level, they'll need to... in the US, they're talking about a tax on robots. So in effect, the per head job that's lost will be taxed against a robot. So if you think about it, if 10 or 20% of the working people are made redundant and the jobs are taken over by robots, then who's going to pay the tax bill? So
who's going to pay the NI?
That's
and
right.
The income tax and employer's tax. And
that's right. So there is a big shift, but I don't think personally people are ready for it. But if you can just actually see around you. So if you go to supermarkets now, you see fewer people on the tills. There's more automation coming. Amazon has made stores where there's no tills. So there's a lot of technology that's coming out, and it's slowly and gradually hitting it. But there will be a tipping point, and I think people definitely need to look at the jobs of the future and plan for that.
Of course, we're here at the radio to promote recruitment and to encourage more and more people to sort of get involved with us so that we can point them in the right direction here. We're not a job center, but we certainly would like to be pointing our youngsters to the right direction, to connect them with the professional sector in this city. where right now we are creating a database for those youngsters, boys and girls, plus also the professionals. And obviously, due to various laws, we need to ask permission from you, Rizwan, if we could add you to our team of experts.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. There's data protection, and now there's GDPR. So yeah, I think I'm happy to be added to that list if we can
That's
help
right.
fellow brothers and sisters.
And if we could sort of create a local group between ourselves, I'm not saying to create another one of the upteen WhatsApp group that have fallen prey to this data that you are talking about, but there will be some means of medium of connection with each other. So from the radio, we had in 2016 started the Leading Ladies initiative, and we could even do a Leading Men's initiative, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. I think Leicester's got a lot of talent. I mean, I used to commute to London for a couple of years, and every Monday I would see the train station platform filled at the 7:15 or the 7:20 trains going out to London for a 9 o'clock start. So there's a lot of talent in Leicester. The unfortunate thing is we don't have many high-tech jobs in Leicester, but we could definitely kind of create a hub where if like-minded people got together, we could bring a lot of these jobs of the future to the city.
Definitely, and there's a big emphasis on that to create those jobs of the future. The brothers who came here yesterday, Brother Uzair was talking about how accounting has changed over the years, where today, back in the day, you filled up all your invoices in a plastic bag or a paper bag, one of those brown bags,
That's right,
and
yeah.
you took them and dropped them on your accountant's table. And I recall days when his office was full of these bags on the floor.
That's right, yeah. I mean,
So
if
they had a name of
yeah.
each customer.
Yeah.
And he would pick up one bag, take all the invoices out, and get his team to look after the purchase ledger, the sales ledger, and then do your accounts for you. And now it's not like that anymore.
That's right. I mean, there's a lot of technology disruption. So what we say normally is there is either a legislative change or a people behavior change that drives this. So for example, there's the PAYE has gone live. So every month you have to let HMRC know about your kind of PAYE bill. There's VAT that's in plans to kind of get into a monthly VAT that will be live. So a lot of the times people used to be running their businesses with accountants who are bookkeepers and managing their accounts. And so, there's companies out there which will, charge you 25 quid a month. And you can use it from your iPad or your phone. And you could, at any minute, you can see your tax liability. You could see your the cash flows and so on. And so the idea is they're giving the power to people back into their hands. So if you look at a lot of the industry, what's happening is a lot of the middlemen are getting cut out. So it's going from manufacturer straight to the consumer. It's going from all of those consumers who maybe, for example, used to ring up a taxi base. It's gone straight to, again, in that industry, they've gone from, taking out the middlemen. So a lot of those jobs would kind of change. So the main thing is if a job is repeatable and if a robot can be trained, those jobs would kind of disappear. If a job is very specific, very custom, and every client that you deal with is different. So, for example, if you look in accountancy, for example, forensic accounting, where you're looking on a case-by-case basis, and there's a lot of digging around to do to kind of build up that case, then in that scenario, that work will be less automated. Maybe some of the manual work might be automated, but your day-to-day bookkeeping and accounts, for example. So a lot of that will just disappear. I mean, we used to work with a customer who used to spend, a couple of weeks to do the month-end, quarter-end processes. We've now got software that'll do it in a day. So there's a lot of change coming, and I think people should kind of evolve with time. And it's kind of it's not the what they say is, it's the survival of the fittest. I say it's a survival of the most adaptable. So people who keep changing with times will probably carry on. I mean, you see it with most businesses. People who've adopted their products and their offerings with time have kind of carried on, and people who've just stayed in the olden days have, become the Motorola's of this world.
Of course, or even the There used to be a phone called
Alcatel?
It had 5 letters. I cannot remember this name. Back in the day, back in long time ago, I can't even remember the year. I think it was something knock this, knock that, something like that. I can't remember the name. Anybody know this name? Yeah, somebody's sent a message here saying it used to be called Nokia.
Yeah.
Right? Is it Indian? That Nokia?
No, it was Finnish. So and then Microsoft actually it's a $1 trillion company now.
What?
Yes, Microsoft is a $1 trillion company after Apple.
Wow.
And then they bought Nokia out, tried to revive them, and struggled, and they're still trying. But yeah, I mean that's the typical example of what happens. I mean there was another company called BlackBerry. There was a time where people couldn't, and that was the best product out there to connect enterprises and.
Yeah.
And again, look what's happened with them. So it definitely goes to show. I mean, even if you look at Apple, they were at the top of the game, and if you look at it now, you've got Huawei, which is going to overtake Samsung to become the leading mobile phone company.
Yeah, well, I personally don't use that phone because I have trouble saying that word, So what I can't say, I can't buy, That's how it goes with me. Brothers, I don't know if you are like that as well. But let's hear you say it again so I can do a little practice run here for myself.
So it's Huawei.
But there's an H there.
It's silent. So I've got a really good story. So I met somebody in Dubai, and I was trying to get hold of the name, and so I said, "Can you spell it for me?" So he said COW. So I said cow, and he said no, it's chow. So you've got to be a bit
savvy.
We're savvy with these names.
Really, I'm having great fun here with Brother Rizwan Ali, listening to him on Ramadan FM. See, we got a screen here which we have to activate manually like this every now and then. So you're listening to us on the Ramadan special, EAVA 102.5 FM. So Brother Rizwan, there's a lot of things we could be talking here all day and all night, right, to cover here. But listeners out there, I want you to take heed of everything what you have heard here right now, and be mindful that we all need help, assistance, guidance in our respective fields. You are almost getting an opportunity to be fast-tracked. Many things you're going to learn from somebody who's already in the industry is going to fast-track you to your university education or even your secondary school education, right?
Definitely.
Because right now, today, you have youngsters who are starting to sell online at the age of 14.
That's right. I mean, there's young kids writing apps. I was in San Francisco, and I met a girl, and she was 13 years old, and she's one of the best Python programmers I've seen. So, there's things like blockchain developers. So there's certain things that are really upcoming. So if you look at some of these upcoming areas, that there's definitely a massive room to grow. So in AI, and the interesting thing with IT is you don't need to invest a lot of money to learn this stuff. So for example, right now, if I was to say 3 things that if you're, for example, in IT, or I mean, I've even got friends who are accountants who are kind of moving over to IT because they can bring that synergy. I've got programs like R, for example, which can build your predictive model. So imagine, so there's a leading sandwich company based around kind of London, which is one of our customers, and we've even predicted for them how many types of baguettes that they need to sell within each hour, within each day of the week, and it takes weather into account, it takes seasonality, football matches, any events happening around London. So with 300 stores, the wastage was about 120 million a year, and they've managed to reduce a good 40% off that. So, and it was all kind of the power of R and data science. So there's a lot of tools online where you can go and kind of study. There's a really good websites like, for example, Udemy, which is basically you enroll on a course, you pay a fee, and then you kind of learn something. And it's not a lot of money. It'll be like $20-30 per course. And some of those are really good because they're designed in a way because they will give you an activity at the end of it. And again, similar thing with a programming language called R. And some of this stuff that I'm talking about. So if you're, for example, proficient in R and data science, you're looking at making upwards of 60K. So I've got some friends who've who've been kind of talking to, and there's youngsters coming out of university, and they're finding it really hard to break into IT. And I guess it's a similar thing with most people when you're new into an industry. There are so many fields. So most people think of IT as server management or software management or software development, but there's over 100 different fields. Like in, I think I read a statistic somewhere that's actually got twice as many different fields than medicine. So there's definitely quite a lot of stuff that youngsters can get into. You could kind of set up your coding clubs, learn, explore. And then the second stage is when people kind of come out of university, maybe they struggle with getting their first break. So it's like, I've done a degree or I've done this course, but everywhere I go, they ask me for experience. And I haven't got the experience, so they're kind of stuck in that catch-22. So what, and I was actually asked by somebody yesterday. So what I would normally recommend is kind of try to go to local businesses, see if you can kind of do maybe some voluntary work, help them with their systems and so on. The other good advice is there's a couple of websites that are like peopleperhour.com, for example, where you can go in, you can register yourself as, let's say, if you do search engine optimization, or there's even lawyers, there's all sorts of different professional people that are registered there. And you can register yourself and do some work, and that will give you a good experience. And then once you've kind of got that experience, you can then put that on your CV and get back in the market.
Absolutely. Some great initiatives here being discovered here by me, and also to share with all of you out there listening in that this is how we have to advance forward now. Today, we made a request that, look, if you have a specific skill set, then don't keep it yourself, because all that knowledge you're carrying in your head will overload your brain. Come here and share it with us, and let other youngsters share with you and learn from you. And this is how we make a difference, my brother. When you pass your knowledge over to me and I pass it on to somebody else, and even my producer, I've never seen him before so attentively listening on a program. Then even he's hooked on everything you are talking about. Especially when you mentioned the figure of 60K you can earn. I was worried. I was starting to shake under the table that he's going to drop his headphones and walk off and start learning the R straight away.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, some of the figures are kind of mind-boggling. I mean, if you there's a couple of websites. I mean, one of them is IT Jobs Watch, and if you look at some of the figures that people are being paid, I mean, if you kind of knew some of these languages, you could probably be earning more than a surgeon. I'm not saying that will happen straight away. You might need to spend 5-6 years in the field, really get your head around it, but it's not impossible at all. And the main thing is it's the new wave of stuff that people need to be doing. They need to be thinking about how the world is changing. I think one of the things is kind of if you're kind of staying in Leicester, it doesn't feel as if the world is moving or evolving as fast. But it definitely is, and change is coming. So I think the best way is to kind of be ready for it. And one of the things I would like to say, so brothers in other fields, for them to come on board, is what I've found over the years is the best way to kind of understand something is to teach. So by teaching what you know, it then further gets emphasized in yourself. So by sharing and by kind of taking the youngsters and the next generation on this journey, we definitely kind of get our knowledge embedded further.
Of course, this is very, very enlightening. Now, we don't have much time left here on this section of the program. We have 30 seconds only and counting down 27 seconds, right? So this is the technology, this is just minuscule technology to what you and I have talked about, because we have to move forward. And what was the most interesting thing you said was change, adapt.
That's right, yeah. So it's definitely the survival of the most adaptable
So,
in this
not
world.
survival of the fitness now, brothers and sisters. We're going to get back to you straight after this little break. So, don't go away. Stay with us. Jazakallah. sit outside a cafe and then chatting with everybody, or should be going home, reading your Quran, having your sehri with your family, and then reading your Quran, and then going to sleep. So everybody has a different routine. So you're listening to me on Ramadan Special, EAVA 102.5 FM. We have another wonderful, beautiful guest who's walked through the door into the studio, and he is live with me right now. Naeem, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you this morning. Jazakallah khair for taking that challenge on.
Alhamdulillah, it's always a pleasure. And listening to your shows in the morning, it kind of wakes me up.
Are you awake? You're awake, are you?
You are my new alarm clock. So when I hear your show, I'm fully awake and fully alive. Now, one of the key things today is if the viewers are watching live on either Instagram right now or Facebook, is that we've both got our shades on today. So you have started a new initiative, indoor shades.
There's one of the brothers, he gets very annoyed. He says, "What you got your shades on for?" And I tell him that, look, the sun is glaring right into my eyes. We have a beautiful sun shining through the window here. And that's why I got the shades on, you know. And of course, because these are dark shades, then I'm not able to see my producer very clearly, which is also a good sign, isn't it? It's a good sign.
Most definitely. But he can see us very clearly, and he's watching us through that glass at the moment.
Yeah. He's got one of those one-way glasses there that he allows him to watch. So, brothers and sisters, you are listening to ZED Breakfast Show in the morning, Ramadan Special, EAVA 102.5 FM. So that is absolutely wonderful. If you could start sharing with your 442 people on your WhatsApp database, and Naeem has 443 actually on his database. So if you can start sharing right this minute,
most definitely,
that would be good.
Most definitely. I mean, it's been a great week. To be honest with you, I've been listening to the show. I've been away, as you're aware, so I couldn't have much input. But listening abroad while I was abroad, on Facebook Live and the various mediums you have, some of the shows this year have been very, very interesting, Zed.
Well, we do strive to keep improving them, Brother Naeem. You know, we are working very hard. And of course, our schedule here from Monday to Friday, then Saturdays and Sundays, we allow all the various wonderful charities that are working very, very hard. And this weekend, Saturday, we have One Nation and Human Appeal on Sunday. And to add to that, all the wonderful local organizations like the Peace Center. Put your right hand up if you know where is the Peace Center in Leicester, right? There is one hand up already. The Peace Center is in Thurnaby area of Leicester. And if you know that particular place, you will see and you will meet Muhammad Lockhart, who takes care of that particular center. And he's doing absolutely wonderful job there. Those of you who don't know the history of that particular center, when they set it up, they had a lot of backlash from the public. But then it turned out that everybody started supporting it because it was an asset in the community. So the Peace Center, I'm going to look forward to having them on the program here. They're definitely doing a good job. Now, Naeem, you also know many, many good initiatives in the city, don't you? People who are doing a good job here, including yourself.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, Leicester is one of them cities, right, that we have amazing people that are doing amazing things. You know, we have a lot of people working locally within the city, and we have a lot of people going abroad and helping people abroad as well. And yeah, Leicester, I mean, I was listening to the show last night. You mentioned it earlier on, them young lads were on the show. And mashallah, 20 plus, 21, 22, I'm guessing the ages are. That's and right. Even that show, for them to even host a show of that caliber was very, very good.
And what makes it really exciting for me is when I meet youngsters like the two accountants I met and young 20s between 20 and 25, right? And the kind of things they were talking about, they have stepped up the game, haven't they?
Most definitely,
and
yeah.
We, the older generation, we have to adapt to that change that we see in these youngsters, because we have, like the gentleman said earlier on, it's not about the survival of the fittest, but it is about those who will adapt to change. And that is how we're going to go forward in our deen. We're going to get better, aren't we?
I mean, 100%, inshallah. It's a blessed month, and it's all about this, utilizing this month and getting in worship and staying focused, and spending time with your family, I think, is very important, and seeing how they're doing and getting them involved is very important as well, I guess.
So now we put this challenge out to say that anybody is invited to come to the studio and talk to us and tell us, like, what are you going to do to make a difference. Now, brother Naeem here, earlier on, he also had a salam to brother who came, Rizwan Ali.
Yes, yes.
And he told us a lot of wonderful things about how an expert in his respective field in the IT sector has made a difference to many youngsters who are able to come to him as an example, one of many people that he is part of a team now, to make a difference to them, to guide them in their career path if they choose to go into the accounting field. And some of the things he talked about were very, very interesting, which both of us can also adapt those teachings to young people who we are mentoring.
Of course, yes.
In the community. This is what I like, that when all the professionals in their respective fields, they get together just to have a little dinner, discuss the importance of empowering the young people in the community, right? Giving them one step up the ladder. So Naeem, isn't that a great initiative?
I think it's a great initiative, and I also think that local businesses out there, or successful businesses, or whatever they may be, it's always good for them to educate people that are up and coming, or mentoring young people that want to get into that field as well. Because obviously, when you're in business, you make a few mistakes, you learn from it, and it's always good to log that and educate the youth when they taking that up themselves as well.
This is where we have to now ask other businesses as well to join with us, and let's add you on our database, and let's work with you to find out, well, what kind of skill sets can you offer. So sometimes an owner of a business, you might be busy, you might not have time, but I'm asking that particular owner to allocate an aspiring youngster, a 24, 25-year-old who has been through the ranks with that business, and put him forward to take on the lead to encourage and mentor a young 14-year-old or a 12-year-old. So I've heard of 14-year-olds who have started online businesses now.
I mean, if you look online, there's a young 13, 14-year-olds becoming very, very successful from the power of the online industry, because you come up with an idea, you don't need a base, and you set it up all online, and nobody knows who's in the back end. But what you got to remember is these young people, mashallah, they brought up in the online visuals. So someone like us, we've kind of like seen it develop. They're born into it. So for them, they get to understand it much, much better. And some things we can learn from them as well, Zed, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll give you an example of one father who called me, and he said, my young son, he's very enterprising, and he started a business online. And I didn't even care to ask the age of that youngster. And I said, what is the business? He said, well, what he does, he connects with all the restaurants and the takeaways that are in the beverage industry, tea and coffee, and he supplies them a sachet of sugar with their brand on it.
Wow.
And I said, wow, man. And I'm like thinking, oh, he's an older kid. And he said, no, my son's only 14. He says, I would like to come and see you so we can take him to the next level now. And at the age of 14, he had this idea that he went up to a supplier and he said, look, you pack this for me and I'm going to go sell it online. And he collected a database of 100 customers and he started that business.
Wow.
And they order a box, he sends it to the factory, he takes the money with a prepayment, and he's doing a business at the age of 14. Now, there is a danger in that when they're 14 years old and they start seeing that money roll in, they're hooked and they're not going to go to further education. And the father explained all that to me. And he says, look, I need to take him now to the next level. I want him to come over and see you. And now these family, they were calling me from Leeds and they were willing to come down to Leicester here just for that. So that's one example, brothers and sisters, that, age is no barrier now to moving forward in the world of business, is there?
Most definitely. Age is not a barrier, and also it's when you're young, like I said, there's a disadvantage. Lack of experience, money comes flowing in. There's a lot of things like that. But ultimately, it's the effort. And sometimes you have to learn by making the mistakes. Otherwise, business is all about learning, making mistakes, and improving yourself.
So again, the message, what we want to add on to this year's Ramadan FM EAVA FM 102.5 FM. In fact, Brother Naim, I want you to say that jingle here. Ramadan special, you are listening to Zed on the Breakfast Show. Ramadan special, EAVA 102.5 FM.
Okay, you want me to say that, yeah?
Go for it here. In case you can't spell, then I've got it
In
here
case you can't
right in
spell or
front of
read.
you.
I've got the producer putting it up on screen as well.
On screen. And it's on that screen as well. So,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brother Briscoe and Zed on the Drive Time Show, Ramadan Special, EAVA 102.5 FM.
not a bad one for the first attempt, right? As they say, it can only get better. Yeah?
Well, quick question. This energy you have, mashallah, first thing in the morning. A lot of people wake up in the morning and obviously they're fasting and the energy is low. You've got this amazing energy every morning on the show. Please, just tell the viewers and listeners who are watching live right now.
What it is, you walk through the studio and there's a room there on the left-hand side as you walk through that corridor. You've seen that this year we've had to expand that corridor.
Sure, yeah, I've seen that.
Later on, I'm going to explain to you the reason why we've had to expand it. So I'm going to explain that to you because it's a little bit technical and a lot of building structural work involved in that. So I'll explain that to you later. Then there's a room there and you go into that room before you come into the studio and there's a makeup team there that get you ready. If you're not looking lively, they make you look lively. They do some brush up here and a brush up there and so on. Now, you walked through the studio and you missed that room, didn't you?
I think I walked straight because I was looking at the producer, and he gave me that look. So I thought, let me concentrate on this look walking forward.
And next time when you come here to sit on this presenter's chair, you'll also be going in that room to the left and you'll see how well it's done up there, right? There's seating facilities there. There's 4 walls there to look at. There's soon going to be a mirror in there. And you go there and you just do a little bit of meditation. And, you look around you that you are surrounded by about 10 people sorting you out, getting you ready. And then you come on your chair. Then you're fresh. Yes?
That's great, man. Everyone needs to go in that room. Everyone needs to go in that room, man.
How's that sound?
That's brilliant.
How's that? No, there's a room opposite also. Now I'll tell you about that room. Yeah. That room, you just go there and you lie down and you chill out, right? And you fall asleep, right? And then there's a clock there that's set for Zohar time and Asr time. And when that clock, it gives you a little reminder, you jump up, like your whole body, it twists and you are on 2 feet immediately to do wudu and say a prayer.
God. Zed, you're just one of the funniest guys. I love you. I love your humor.
That is the room I'm going to show you also. So today, first time you have come here to the studio this year, I'm going to show you these rooms. And then, of course, we have a separate WC for the ladies and a separate one for the men, because last year we had a complaint that the ladies don't want to use the WC that the men use. Now, we will do a lot of research on that another time. That topic doesn't fall in with today's agenda item, right? Because we work to a structure here today. So the structure here today was all about empowerment, recruitment, assisting our younger people who want to be tomorrow's professionals or tomorrow's businessmen. So every one of you out there listening in are all able and capable to empower somebody else, because this is the reason when one of my friends told me that it's okay to say KIP, knowledge is power, but what to do with that knowledge? Can you take that knowledge with you, Brother Naim?
It's always good sharing it. Sharing is caring, Brother Zed. And the thing is, we have to understand when you have certain knowledges, and knowledge comes from, again, experience and mistakes and learning and things like that. It's always good to share it, and I think it's very important.
And of course, always I'm reminded that do you want to be the richest man or the poorest man in the Qabristan? Which one is going to be better off? Tell me.
100%. You're 100% right. I think being the poorest man, being humble is always the key thing. And again, going back to that 14-year-old you mentioned, when the money starts flying in, you're young-minded, money comes in, you want to buy the certain things. Because you remember when we were 14, I wanted to buy nice cars, buy this, buy that, whatever it may be. So it's all about humbling and educating how to be humble. And I think in anything you do on a daily basis, regardless, being humble is a process that comes over time. Initially, when you set up a business and you're making up money and you're doing this, whatever it may be in your life, you always have a bit of ego kicking in. But over time, you got to try to find the chemistry of becoming humble and giving back. And that's what is going to make you, one, a better person, and two, a successful person. Success doesn't mean you're making loads of money. Success means you're happy within.
So I'm just going to read out a text that one of the brothers has reminded me that when next week we have a session here with Sir Peter Soulsby, for those of you who don't know, that he's one of what I call the powerhouses of the city of Leicester. So Peter Soulsby, if you're listening in right now, give us a call because we'd like to speak to you, to give you the house rules here at the radio, right?
Show him the rooms as well, man.
Yeah,
You might like one of the rooms.
tell him
in here.
about our special rooms there. So if you want to give us a call on 0116-212-9324, or if you are shy, if you're feeling a little bit shy because of Ramadan, you're tired, you can text us on 07450-925-084. So for that particular program, I want you all to get your questions ready. I want you to write them down and then text them to me that, Brother Zed, I would like you to ask this particular question from Sir Peter, because there are quite a few questions. Yesterday I had one question about the parking levies.
Ah, okay.
That the city council are looking to impose a parking levy on businesses in the inner city.
I heard about that, yeah.
That if there were over 10 cars in a car park, that they will be charged. Each car will be charged about £5. Now, this is all under investigation. I've got our investigation team on it,
Yes,
which is
the ZED investigation team.
No, not me. It's my producer. He does like 29 jobs every day, and that was another one added to his list to go and investigate that, right? Because this is how it works, brother Naim. That we do the presenting, he does the research. It's a partnership.
Of course, it's a teamwork.
Yeah,
It's a teamwork.
It's a teamwork. And of course, we need to find out more about that initiative, because a lot of people already are saying to me, oh, I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it. And of course, you know, what about consultation with you, for example, right? If you have a business in the inner city and you're going to have more than 10 cars, then people are not going to go over 9 cars, are they?
Sure, you're right, yeah.
Right, so what is the thinking behind that? Is that to reduce people's usage of cars, but the rule only applies to the city? Or if the outer city take that initiative on, then what happens? Right, that if you've got a car park which can take 100 cars, then you're being penalized for creating a car park for more than 10 cars.
Totally understand what you mean.
Yeah, so we don't know.
We'll have to see how it develops over the weeks or the months, maybe.
Well, as they say, it's a cloudy sky, isn't it? It's a
And there's
cloudy sky.
always a lot of changes. I mean, there's always a lot of changes that happen for the city, and we got to look at the bigger picture. Even if they are getting charged, for example, and we might moan about being charged, is it benefiting the city? Is where's that money going to? Is it going to help other development? So we got to look at that as well. So it's all about doing the research on it, I guess.
So all of you guys, community development is all relevant to also the people who run the city. They are, and at the end of the day, they are employees working for you, the public, and some of you will have a lot of issues and then talk to us. It's an opportunity for us to confront the powers that rule the city, be your MP, your councillor, your mayor. If we don't express our feelings, our opinions, what we think, then they may just carry on.
Sure, no, I totally agree. It's always good to express yourself. There's no point sitting on the sideline waiting for things to happen. If you feel that something you're not happy with or you want to improve something, then, you know, we live in a beautiful city. We're a part of this city. Get involved, you know, and start, you know, finding out how you can get things improved.
Of course, a reminder to you all about the job opportunities at the city council also. So we are now waiting to connect with somebody, one very kind gentleman or gentle woman even, to connect with us, to come here and share with us what are the opportunities available in the city council right now. So if anyone listening out there, then please connect with us, because we need to set that up. Everything here is driven by what you, the people, are asking for. So we don't here haphazardly make up a program here. We respond according to what the people are asking us to do. If they're telling us, look, you must cover a program on domestic violence, we are following that and creating platforms for the experts in that respective field to come and talk about domestic violence and so on. So throughout the week, we have a real good schedule for all of you to follow. So even, Brother Naim, if you can even take, for example, Friday, tomorrow, you can skip my program that I do from 9 till 10:30.
Yeah,
and you can start from 11 a.m., for example.
So 11 a.m. we have the community dialogue, if I'm correct, and that's with Rahima, and that starts at 11 o'clock. That show then goes into the next show after that is Maulana Khalil at 2, which is Bad Sebat. Now, shall we translate that?
Yeah, you can translate that for all our people in Leicester, and also national and global.
Global, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bad Sebat, if I'm correct, talk is talk, I'm guessing? Near enough?
That's right.
Talk to talk, yeah? Yes, the producers told us talk to talk. Then after that, we have the Children's Hour with Fatima and Salma. That's at 4 o'clock. Then we have Mahmouda Duke, Leading Ladies. Great show. I really enjoyed that show last time. And we have at 6:30, Riaz and his wife, the husband and wife show. And then we have...
I think that particular show should be changed to... the name of that show would be Wife and Riaz. Not Riaz and Wife.
Yes, you're probably right.
There's a lot of psychology in that, right?
We have to analyze that show and look into it and get a report on it.
When I've been listening to that show and I see a completely different Riaz. It's not the same Riaz I see outside. You know, so he's totally different.
He's well behaved, I'm guessing then, yeah?
Totally, you know, the body language, you know, the eye movements, everything changes.
He's been watched, shall we say.
Everything changes, you know, so the persona in front of the wife, brothers and sisters, sometimes has an effect on the wife. Totally.
Brilliant. After that, we have at 8 o'clock, Sheikh Arif Ola, at 8 till 9, his show. And obviously, I've heard a few of his shows. They're quite informative. He goes into a lot of detail and it's quite informative. I actually enjoy them shows. I think in the evening as well at 8 o'clock, great time to have that show as well when you're just relaxed, ready to prepare to open your fast or whatnot.
Now, brothers and sisters, at that time, that particular show at 8 p.m. right up to the iftar time, Abdul Hamid, he was our resident stalwart person who did that particular show. But as all of you know, that he is in hospital recovering from that horrific accident that he had recently. So what I want you all to do is make dua for him. And today at 12, one of the listeners has taken the initiative to purchase a nice card for him, right? And we're going to all sign that card. And Brother Naim, at 12, somehow, if you can make it to the studio.
Inshallah,
so we can sign that card off. And this evening, we will deliver that card to him, give it to his mother, and she'll pass it on. At this moment in time, he's not able to handle guests because he's very tiresome for him. And somebody will take it to his family and forward it to them. So if any of you listening out there, Brother Naim, they should come into the studio to sign that card, yeah?
Most definitely. Sign that card. Also make loads of prayers and dua for our brother who's obviously currently in hospital, and also for his family. We all should get together and make loads of prayers on this blessed month for him.
We're going to take this quick call now. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. It's Ruxana.
MashaAllah, good to hear from you. You have 52 seconds before
our
producer cuts me off. So please say what you have to in 47 seconds.
Well, I just want to say salam alaikum to both of you first of all. Brother Briscoe is in the studio as well. So salam to both of you.
MashaAllah, thank you for that.
And also, just wanted to say about the card. I haven't brought the card, I've made the card.
Wow.
So it's actually a handmade card that I've been making since you said on the show. And I will be dropping in at 12 o'clock. So can please, everyone who can get there, sign it. If you're in the studio, then please do sign. Some well wishes for our brother.
This card will be downstairs. So if everybody who wishes to do so, please come into the studio. We'll leave it downstairs and you can sign your name on it. And don't sign your name on the left-hand side because that's where I'm going to sign it, on the top left-hand side. Leave that fair.
I'll get it right.
Okay, guys, we got to cut now because we're going to...
No problem.
Assalamu alaikum. We'll see you tomorrow. That's, now, every half